Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Chatbox Vale, your mental health podcast for Eagle County. It's the holiday week, and we're super excited. We're wishing everybody who celebrated Hanukkah, love, light, and hope. And then now we're getting ready for Christmas this week. So we have a lot of different things going on in our emotional brains, and a lot of people get the holiday blues. A lot of people get sick and then they can't enjoy the holiday, and some people feel isolated. So what we'd like to do is bring in very special people to show you that you're not alone and that there are many things that you can do to overcome any obstacles. And the reason why I just said that is because our guest today, this is Jen Saito, I'm Liz Ferrin, and we have Meghan S. Buchanan, who's not only an author but a badass. That's all I have to say. Now, you are a 7-time summit climber.
So I have completed both versions of the 7 summits, which is the highest peak on every continent.
Oh my God,
I know,
that's
and
amazing.
there's 2 versions of it, Bass and Mesner's, and I've completed both, which about 25 to 30 women have ever done.
That's
That's
incredible.
insane.
Yeah.
But this is the coolest part. You grew up and not realizing you were having some dysfunction. You ended up having dyslexia.
I was actually luckily diagnosed around 7 years old, but
Okay.
because a teacher of mine was verbally and emotionally abusing me because he did not like me. Because I wouldn't sit on his lap to go over test grades. Yes, I was
Oh my
actually the
God.
lucky
Do
one.
you want an A or an
Yeah,
F?
exactly. So
Gross.
I couldn't. That's when you really start spelling and comprehension. And my mom knew I was working so hard on it, and I couldn't spell. So yeah, he would berate me in front of the class, call me an idiot, stupid, retarded, make me sit in the corner to the point
That's
where
horrible.
I completely shut down and wouldn't read.
And did you ever bring him up to your parents or anybody? You were probably young and scared.
Oh, I was terrified.
Yeah.
But my parents recognized it. They took me to the doctors. We're so sorry, Miss Buchanan. Your child is dyslexic. She won't achieve much academically. And my mom pretty much said, F that. And she sat me down, and my little 7-year-old just crying self. And she's like, sweetheart, you can be anything you want to be. You are just going to have to work harder than everyone else. And that starts today in this house.
And let me
So-
tell you, she's more than most of us. I mean, I am not kidding. You are more than most of us. Now, we're sitting here in our studio at High Five Access Media, and I love being here. It's our new home, and we've been here. This is our 12th podcast episode. So we're really happy to be here for that. And I just wanted to bring you on for a lot of reasons. You wrote a book, and here it is right now. It's Choose to Rise.
Finally happening.
I mean, I know how excited you are because I've been seeing your on social media and stuff like that. Now, before we get to your book, because I want to also explain that you had also broken your femur. I mean, you have done so much and come back stronger and stronger and stronger. When did that happen, and how did you climb after broken femur?
Yeah, so I've
God.
actually really focused. I think I always hiked, and that was always my therapy growing up. Being dyslexic was the outdoors. That's where I actually felt good about myself and
Okay.
build my self-esteem.
I get it.
Yeah, and so then it was wonderfully skiing in the back balls of Vale here. It was a great powder day and hauling ass on a tree line and hit a downed tree. And so I broke the head off my femur. It was not good. I was in the hospital for like 8 days.
And where's your
almost
femur?
died. Femur is
That's what I thought.
the largest bone in the body.
That's why I know what it is.
Broke the head off, and then I pretty much woke up to them saying, you will have have a cane or a wheelchair the rest of your life.
And she
And
said,
then I
F
said,
that.
F that.
You learned that from your mama.
Oh, so, and I really I am a little Vale Valley success story, because it really was all the doctors, everything from dry needling to massage therapy to a lot of mental therapy, because I actually ended up being allergic to the titanium rod in me. And it was in there for like a year and a half before we figured out it had to be that. So it was extreme pain, depression. But I was like, no, I will figure out a way. And so my one little carrot was, I really want to go and hike. I had done Everest Base Camp before, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. And I focused on it so hard. And so when we finally took it out, I just started getting better instantly.
And your depression lifted once that was taking place, or did it take a while because it was already embedded into your psyche?
You know, I think, and when I say depression for me, I am ADHD too, and I have just a crazy amount of like energy and go, 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 go. So I am always so positively fixed on things, but I knew that I was suffering a depression. And yeah, for me, and it's still, but I was still moving forward, but it took me a very long time to get out of that fight mode because I was in such chronic pain for so long and everything was a fight.
Well, pain can cause anxiety.
Absolutely. And because at some point too, I had to choose my job with Lockheed Martin. It was moving to Alabama. And I went there and I kept getting worse. And I called my surgeon back here. He's like, I think you need to make a decision, like stay there or come back and let's try to get your leg fixed. So I had to leave my job. I had to leave a relationship, all to try to get my leg back. And I did. And so then, yeah, after that, then I hiked to Everest Base Camp, and I was like, that was so easy because I was mentally so much stronger. And then I was like, I'm going to do Kilimanjaro again. And then I was like,
yeah, Kilimanjaro. Did you hear that? It's like, I'm lucky I could pronounce it, much less hike it.
That's the thing in Vail Valley. Who hasn't climbed Kilimanjaro? But yeah, but like I said, it took me a long time to unwind my brain and probably the chemistry through my body, everything, to not be in fight mode anymore.
Well, I gotta say, a lot of people watching, they watch because they're in fight mode most of the time. I'm always in fight mode. Flight or fight, all that stuff. So what do you feel? Do you feel like your own personal achievements are what gave way to letting go of some of the angst and depression and fight mode?
Yes, and in my book I talk about this.
Yes,
because it really, what I learned is I have this grit because I faced dyslexia and learning disabilities so young, and I was always being told I can't, you won't, and always trying to rise above. And then the outdoors, I went to it because I felt good about myself. Then it was actually in the outdoors as an adult climbing these mountains that I found the difference between what is disappointing and what is devastating. There's a huge difference.
You're right.
And the more you experience and the more you push yourself in life through, the more you understand that difference. And so devastating was a lot harder to reach for me than I just saw things now as, well, that's disappointing, but I have no control over it. What can I do? And it is through the mountains that then I actually fell back in love with who I am as a dyslexic and was like, I am tired of being ashamed of this. I hit it in work, school, everywhere.
Imagine
I know.
I can't even imagine how much you're feeling unnecessary shame.
Complete shame. And even though
but it was unnecessary.
I had a family that was so supportive. I was so lucky. But even with that, there is you're always feeling shame and embarrassment because you are different than others. And school systems are not set up to teach the way that your brain best works. And, in engineering today, I am still battling people who are like, well, you can't do your job because you're dyslexic. And but now I'm just like, I'm not that quiet little kid that shuts down. I'm like, oh no, we're going to have a discussion.
Did you ever, I have this question because I am very just curious. Did you ever reach back out to that piece of garbage teacher and show him that you are a success, not because of him, but in spite of him?
I honestly do not know where he is. I share his real name in my book. His name was Mr. Wolf.
Do?
Wolf. I mean, please.
There's a lot of wolves.
And I will tell you this. I was a little kid in California, and he was finally arrested for molestation and child pornography.
Gross. Well,
so again, I know. So I guess he went to Texas is the last I heard. And no, I mean, I don't need to say anything to him.
What'd you say his name was?
Mr. Wolf. I don't remember his first name. I should look that up.
Well, now he's howling like a wolf in prison, so I'm
Yeah,
glad to hear it.
He probably is. But again, it was.
Well, okay, so I'm still stuck. We're going to definitely make a big part about this book, but I just can't believe the fact that you have climbed 7 summits. What was the most difficult one, and how did you feel about yourself after you conquered it?
They're all very different in different ways.
Okay.
And for the 7 summits, a lot of people, was it Everest or Denali? And for me, Denali was more difficult because when I did that, I was a little bit newer into the mountaineering, and it is completely self-supported. Like, you have a 60-pound pack, you're pulling a 60-pound sled.
Oh my gosh.
I loved it.
It's more
for that.
cumbersome than skiing.
And Everest, you have porters and Sherpa. And I just there saw also, if you have enough money and can pay enough people to just push you and pull you, you can get to the top. And it didn't feel as earned to me. And so I think a lot of people, when they do climb Everest, there's almost this letdown or disappointment afterwards.
Really?
I had to process it. I think the people that at the top are like, yes, oh my God, I did. They're probably the people who didn't think they were going to make it because they shouldn't be on the mountain.
But for you, it was like, piece of cake.
At that point, I had trained enough and I'd experienced enough where it was, okay, we've got to do our job today.
Okay.
And which is fantastic. And yeah, there were very hard moments for sure.
It was like an anthill for you.
But no. And it just takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
But no, I just needed to process it. And 6 months after I climbed Everest, I went to Australia to complete the 7 summits. So I went from like the highest to the lowest. And that was like
interesting.
But after that one, then I finally had processed it enough. And actually, I talk about it in my book too, like why I had to process it. And it's because I also think I was suffering from like an imposter syndrome.
Really?
Where I saw people who my metric system was telling me they didn't deserve to be on that mountain. But I think deep down inside me, I was like, is that what other people think about me? And so I had to get through that, and I had to also process my metric system I don't need to put that on other people. What my worthiness is, and mine is mine, and theirs is theirs, and I can let them have their journey. And so I think by the time I got to Australia and I finished that cute little day hike,
cute little day hike.
Oh my God, Threadbow is adorable. This little ski town.
They're so cute at that age.
So cute. And then
I'd probably die on it.
Then I was like, okay, I've accomplished something. Now what's the next thing? And then I went on to, then I'm trying to complete the Explorers Grand Slam and the Adventurers Grand Slam. So that's just polar stuff. Yeah.
It's amazing. And not only, so we already know about your physical prowess and stuff. How in the hell did you end up a rocket scientist?
Well, again, the middle kid with a learning disability. I was never good enough for myself.
Can you imagine a learning disability leads you to be one of the hardest imaginable fields?
And my dad was a brilliant man. He was a Rhodes Scholar to MIT. His undergrad was in physics, his master's was in electrical engineering, and he was in aerospace.
My brain hurts.
I know, but he was such a good teacher. He was so kind, and he is the one that took me. He also had the love of the outdoors. He is the one that would take me hiking when he knew that I was struggling with my self-esteem at school, and we would just do that and talk. And so I think part of it was, my brother and my sister weren't affected. They're brilliant. And I thought, I love the space program, but I think I just found this connection with my dad. And that's what I wanted to do. Yeah.
I mean, not everybody can say they're a rocket scientist that climbed 7 summits and wrote a flippin' book.
Well, there we go. I will tell you, this book is literally, I am more proud of this than Everest.
All of your achievements?
Because, again, for a dyslexic to write this book, it was
How do you write with dyslexia?
Very slowly.
Or do you just write like sideways?
No, I find, and for a lot of dyslexics, a lot of time my brain will go much faster than I can come out, but the words don't come out and I run on a lot.
Okay.
And so it gets difficult. And I was trying to talk to text, and I would talk so fast it couldn't keep up. And I'm just watching it. And I was like, this isn't working either. But it was mainly, and the really cool part is when I was really writing it and, touching back on the experience that I had with that teacher, all of us, no matter what it is, we all have something that happens in our life that is traumatic. And you box it up and you put it back in the storage of your brain because it's called survival. So you can just move forward and tell yourself, I'm fine, I'm normal.
But you're not.
Move on. This really did, all of a sudden my fingers were just moving and all this stuff was coming. I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot that part happened. And I'd call my mom and be like, do you remember? She's like, oh, no, this is the way it went. I was like, what?
Wow.
And so there were times I have to stop writing and I just be crying. And it really was bringing me more in touch with the pain and the embarrassment and the shame we were talking about from that learning disability. And I really got honest with it. And it's helped me in my keynote talks to kids, to people. I can be so much more vulnerable, because before I would kind of say like, oh, it's now just my greatest strength. And I still say that, but I don't skip over the part of how difficult it is to go through and how painful. And that is the true meaning of grit. When something is painful, when it is so hard, the courage to step into it is how it becomes your strength.
What a message.
I love that.
And I had put it away and just kept moving forward and done all these things to make up for it. I finally brought it back out and I unpacked it, and it was, I give myself goosebumps. Like,
I'm having goosebumps, and it's crazy.
So it took me a little while to write it, but I was like, oh my gosh, even if this doesn't go anywhere, like this has been such a game changer for me.
Now, are you going to have a book signing coming up?
So the
Look how excited you got.
The official launch is January 20th.
Okay.
And so, yes, I'm actually having a launch party on the 19th,
Where,
which
at Bookworm?
no, we're going to do, but we already got the email and stuff. But I'm sure, like, I got to go in. I have so much to do right now. I was going to go in and talk to Bookworm, so for sure.
They're great over there. They'll do
We are
anything.
I'm sure going to get the book over there and just starting to do. Everything's going to be through Amazon right now because I'm self-publishing. And
Gotcha.
then,
How did you have them made? When you're self-publishing, do you just go to your own printers and you just do it all yourself?
So I actually went through this company called selfpublishing.com.
Oh.
And there's a lot of different ways to do it, but I needed to do it cheaply because I have spent all my money on these expeditions.
I bet.
But they kind of guide you through how to do it. And then I found this amazing editor. She is so awesome. And we just clicked. And I will tell you the next book, and I wrote this whole thing. The next book, I will bring my editor, Nancy, and she's also a ghostwriter. The next one I will have a little assistance on that because this took way too long.
Well, I have to say, it's a really important book, not only just to see what it's like to do these amazing feats that you do, but it teaches us a lesson that we can overcome anything. Even though we might not feel it at the time, maybe you're going through something that you don't think you'll ever get over or ever get past, or let's say somebody in your life is no longer there, you're never going to be the same. And we all feel like that when something tragic happens to us. But I can honestly say that when you do something for yourself and you take care of yourself and you give yourself credit and courage and self-love and respect, and you make things like this happen, there's no stopping us. And so if you can hold on to that small bit of faith in yourself that you know you can get through anything, you can really do anything. I've been wanting to write a book for so many years, and you just sitting here talking to me makes me, what is taking me? Mine's personal, so I know why it's taking so long because I have to relive a lot of crap.
Yeah,
and
you do.
You do.
Have to.
You
need
do,
to
but
be honest.
that is the only way a book's going to be good is if you're honest and you're open and you're just right there with the people. And what you're doing for everybody, especially with this conversation right now, is that you're teaching people that nobody is on their own in anything. I can't even imagine how many people have dyslexia. And the shame is not necessary because if anybody, when you were younger, like your dumbass teacher, or anybody that ever decided to shame you for having a disability, whether it's learning or anything else, physical, they're the problem, not you. You're the strong one. You're the one that can get through anything, and you're the one that can obviously climb mountains and write books and become anything you want to be.
Yeah, I mean, and the grit is for gratitude, growth, resilience, integrity, and tenacity.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I always thought it was, I got grit.
Well, it is
Grit.
but yeah, I mean, it is, but those are the tools that I have used.
Right.
I kind of went back, like, those are the tools I've used my whole life. And so I stepped through how to use that in your own life. And again, because yes, you can look at me now, like at the summit of something, like the summit's a great picture, but how much work it took to get there. And I really try to explain that and help people feel fine for where you are right now. And that is the most important thing, accepting where you are right now and then keeping your eye focused on where you want to be and giving yourself that grace and building your grit over time.
Absolutely. And I mean, a lot of people, I'm going to use Lindsey Vonn for an example. This is an amazing woman that just is kicking ass and taking all the titles and the medals right now. And now I don't know anything about her personal life, but that's a woman that has just shown that she can come back from injury and defeat and come back and win, what, 5? I don't even know how many. There's just a ton of them. So you remind me of her in a different aspect, just like a different way. No, I'm not kidding. Yeah. Because Lindsey, I don't know what she went through as a child. I don't know if she has any disabilities or anything like that. She is gorgeous. But the thing is that she started that career and then she got hurt real bad.
Yeah.
And what did she do? She healed and went right back. I'd be like laying on the bed, making people fan me and feed me grapes, I'm like, I'm hurt. But the tenacity is just insane. And so that's why I compare you to her, because you have overcome also hurting yourself. But other than that, a learning disability is hard for anybody to go through, especially when you're ridiculed for it as a child.
Yeah, and as an adult. And you just need to get good at that grit voice that just speaks back up for yourself.
That's amazing.
And that's what I think, especially as it's so important as women that we take those lessons. And, it's so easy especially in career and different places, for people to make us feel less than. And for you to have that strength and courage to speak up, be like, no, I'm not going to believe you.
And Jen, don't you feel like these days, people are worse than ever, like at making people feel bad about themselves?
I don't know if it's worse, but it definitely still exists for sure.
Well, maybe because of the internet.
Well, yes, absolutely through the internet. And, I just think that, these days when you're constantly being, a fish being judged on your ability to climb a tree, obviously you're not going to be able to do that. And I think, you were able to persevere, and become super successful because you had other options. You had you went to, other paths. It doesn't, education and learning doesn't have to happen in one way. And it's not the best way,
Yeah,
absolutely.
And you're living proof of that to me. And that's why you're super inspiring, because it's like, oh my gosh, to hear you with so much confidence and you have all of the accomplishments you have under your belt is just,
I know.
And even just to say hey, you have to stand up for yourself when you are, having these things, because sometimes you want to hide it, And
I did learn that. And that was one of the gifts that my mother gave me, was she would fight my battles for me as a kid with teachers or whoever, but then she really slowly started teaching me to stand up for myself. Yeah. And she started that in high school, you need to go talk to the teacher. I was like, no. She's like, no, you need to go do this. Right. And she slowly taught me to speak up for myself. And, it is one of those things where, and I always felt so misunderstood and judged for so much of my life. Yeah. Until it was really in my 40s finally understanding, well, no wonder I'm misunderstood, because I'm not being who I am.
You're not authentic.
I had been hiding the disability or difference for so long and still had the shame and still trying to cover up for it. But it was a great thing, because I'm like, no, there's nothing wrong with me. I've been working as an engineer. I do a great job. I am fine who I am. And then I stopped being misunderstood, because I could be really who I am.
Okay.
And I think we
once
all
you own it,
can do that.
I love that.
And being who you are with the things that aren't what we think are perfect or whatever. Everything is perfect exactly who you are. You just have to figure that out and fall in love with it.
Absolutely.
And that takes a long time.
Yeah, it
does. It takes a long time and a lot of work.
But life's a journey, and we can always just feel bad about ourselves and just not be up to anything, or we can say, I'm as good as that person, or I'm even as good as that person, and I'm a lot better than the person I think I am. I'm going to prove it to nobody but myself, because that's what it's about. You have to prove it to yourself, and then when other people are impressed, that's beautiful. Yeah. But, you have to show yourself that you are able and you are alive, and if you've been through tragedies or pain or suffering or loss or all of that, it's not a reason for you to think that you cannot do everything that you possibly put your mind to.
Yeah, and it's figuring out I'm gonna be the best me.
Right.
Because you can't we do live in this culture that is so comparison. And believe you me, like I will get caught up on things and there'll be people on my space and social media where I'm like, oh man, they've got a team and they're killing it and I don't have the money and I should be, and then I'm like, stop.
Wait, yeah.
I'm like, stop. I can only do what I can
Then
do
you
right
can
now.
look back at your world
Yeah,
and be like, oh, well, what have
Like,
they done this?
I know.
You know what I
But-
mean?
But it does, but
it's pride and self-empowerment.
But then I really was able to finally, and again, this is in the last, decade. This wasn't my 30s, and it was, probably I really was finally good enough for myself at 47 when I had a breakdown in a tent in Everest Base Camp. But it was a breakthrough. Like
Breakdowns are breakthroughs.
oh my God, I was like, I'm finally good enough for myself. And it changed everything in my career. And I felt limitless because I didn't fear failure anymore.
What got you to the point where you actually felt that way? I mean, you've done so much before it, but yet it took that long.
It was the culmination of all these things. And this is truly what I hope so much this book helps explain to people so that they don't have to climb Everest to figure this out. But
I'm climbing into the bathtub.
I know. Oh my God. I was on Everest in 2021 and it was a risk to go. I had just gotten vaccinated. I knew no one in Nepal was going to be vaccinated, but I was supposed to go in 2020. The whole thing got canceled because of COVID. I'm like, and you have to train for
Didn't
an
you
entire
get
year.
sick from the vaccine?
No, I mean,
Some
I don't
people
know.
got like sick, like a cold, and I don't mean like COVID.
No, I mean, I just got I was vaccinated maybe like 4 days before I went.
See, I got a very bad like flu from the flu shot, so I'm like, oh great, I'm gonna get the COVID shot, and then I got the COVID.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I got it because when I went, we were all there and everyone was isolated from each other. But I'm like,
Oh my
I'm
God, that's
I'm
so
here.
strange.
I'm just here to climb this mountain. And we were on the mountain forever and we had unprecedented weather.
Did you have to stand
craziness.
7 feet away from each
Our
other?
camps, we
Wow.
had ropes around our camps, but they didn't allow other people. And this was a lot of money and a lot of time involved. And I was on the mountain and I had done rotations, which you go up to camps 1, 2, 3, base camp's 17,500 feet. So we're doing rotations for days. You come back down and I'd go to change my clothes and I'm like, oh man, I just lost another body weight. Like I
really?
was depleting so fast.
Really?
And so I was up there for so long and we were going out. We were back down to base camp. We're going to be ready for summit bid. And I just felt so crappy. And that was the one thing I'm really good at. I'm the first in the pack. I'm so strong climbing. And we went for a day hike and I slowed down so much and felt so sick. I had to turn around for one of the first times in my life.
Wow.
And I was like, and all the negativity just came in.
See, there's no shame
And I
in that
was-
if you weren't feeling well.
I was in the tent and all those voices came back and they're like, see, I told you, you're not good enough. You shouldn't be here. You're nothing. And it just started berating me and I'm sitting there crying and then literally this other voice, and don't worry, not too many voices in there. This other voice,
Schizo.
this grit voice yelled and it's like, Megan, shut the F up.
Wow.
And it was like, I'm sorry. But if you are not good enough for yourself, I don't know what to do for you anymore. You are you're a dyslexic that became an aerospace engineer. You're literally climbing the highest mountain in the world.
Yeah, really.
And
What
if
else you need
you
to
are not
prove
good
to
enough for
yourself?
yourself, then pack your shit up and go home. I am done with you.
Yeah.
And I literally started laughing. And from crying, I was like, okay, this is the point in my life. I'm good enough for myself. I'm choosing it. And I felt it through my entire body.
What you just said is giving me chills.
I
You're
love it.
choosing it for
I
yourself.
finally was able
absolutely.
to
Same
choose
with
it.
me.
Because you can say, oh, I love myself, but you don't really know until it really happens.
Absolutely.
And then we were ready for summit bid. It turns out you can't possibly eat enough. And I thought I was eating all the time, but I doubled down on eating. A week later, I felt so much stronger. We were ready for summit. And the Delta variant of COVID came over, wiped out all our climate Sherpa. I was on the mountain 6.5 weeks, and they're like, the season's done, go home. Everything's shutting down. And my teammates were devastated.
Especially with all the time and money and energy you've all put
it's a
into
lot,
it. Yeah.
But I was disappointed because I had learned something more incredible than climbing that mountain. And just right away, I was like, I'm good. I love myself. I'll come back next year.
Oh my
And then
God.
I was literally like skipping down and went so mad. And I'm like, I've had the best time. I love myself.
You know, there is something so cathartic about having a revelation like that about yourself. And I mean, it takes so much work and so much understanding about you.
And
It all
to a
came
climax and it
together.
happened. And I returned in 22, and it was.
You probably roller skated up.
I had learned so much, and I summited within like 5 weeks, and the weather was amazing, and it was fantastic. I was very, very happy. I talk in detail though about some of the personality types that.
Oh, well, that's
triggered me,
okay.
but it was great. Yeah.
But that's what I like about this book. It is all honest. It's truth. And it's not a big book, so y'all can read it, okay? Because, like, I know with me, if I see a book this thick, I'm like, forget it. I'll use it as a pillow. But this is just really great. I'm going to read the back for you guys so you can get an idea. For Meghan Buchanan, engineer, mountaineer, adventure athlete. That question became her life's defining truth. Diagnosed with dyslexia as a child, she was told that she would never achieve much.
I know.
Right? Meghan battled self-doubt, setbacks, and external voices that said she wasn't enough. But instead of giving in, she built something even stronger.
Exactly.
And I just think, what a way to sum up that book a little bit. And if anybody has any questions about their ability to pull off anything in life, this book is for you. If anybody thinks that they're so good they can't go any further, this book is for you. It's pretty much for everybody. And if anybody feels like they need a kick in the butt to say, you know what, I am good enough, I am this person, I am ready, and I am worthy, this book is for you. So they can get it on Amazon, correct?
It will be available January 20th. Yes, and so it'll be ebook and paperback, and then I will be working on the audiobook.
I was going to say.
Not looking forward to that.
Why?
Because I have to read and I get stumbled. I literally might have my sister do it because she has the same voice as me.
Oh, that's so funny. But I mean, audiobooks are good when they're read by the narrator. They're narrated by the writer.
I literally, and like if you ever, please do come see me if I do book reading, but I will stumble because it is, and it's this nervousness that I get. But it's just me. It is me. So.
And that's authentic. And not only that, when you get to a point in the book that if it's touching and you have to get through it without choking up, you know, but it's organic and that's what matters.
I guarantee I cry whenever I talk about certain things. Even when I do keynotes, I cannot talk about my dad without crying. And I cannot, I'll talk about it right now. And also at the top of Everest, I held a sign. It said, dyslexia gave me grit at the summit of Everest. And it just like, because it's because of that little broken, that little broken soul that gave me the courage to do this in my life. And I really love sharing that message and helping others. And again, I hope that does not actually mean Everest for you because it's a
bitch. Jen, do you have any questions for her? Because I'll tell you what, this was just so enlightening. I can't believe how much time has passed already.
I know, we could keep going.
Let's keep going. We have a little time. But there's one important subject that I have been dying to ask you. Now, this is a serious subject, everybody. This is something that you apparently went through, and it must have been very, very traumatic. And I hope that you can get through this without crying. But please explain to me what happened when you were chased by a Himalayan snowcock.
She's been dying to say that all
like
day.
humor.
I've been holding my phone. I didn't want to forget to say the word Himalayan snowcock.
I believe that was a blog that I was doing while on Everest, and I just enjoy so much humor in life, and even through really tough things. And there is this wonderful bird. It kind of reminds me of like maybe a ptarmigan or something, but it's the Himalayan snowcock. And so
That's what she said.
between Gorak and Everest Base Camp, you will be hiking and you start hearing them making their little noises. And then there were about 10 of them that were just there was a couple of us going in between on an off day, waiting, for our next rotation. And we're like, we're being chased by the Himalayan snowcock. And I was like, I must capture this because it is too funny to pass up.
It was the one thing that stuck in my head. I've been reading about, I already know
my God,
you.
I love
We've
it.
known each other a couple of years, and I've talked to you before on TV and stuff. but I still wanted to just sit and read about you and get all the little details. And when I saw that, I was like, I'm not even going to read the story.
It's a good
I'm
gift
gonna
for
ask
Christmas.
for that
The Himalayan
story.
snowcock, yes.
Everybody should have a Himalayan snowcock for Christmas.
Maybe two.
She wants 2 cocks for Christmas.
Only if they're Himalayan.
Only the best.
Well, they might be a laying, but I don't know about the Hima part.
I say, this point in my life, I'm very busy. I work a full-time job.
Yeah.
I've been writing this book. I'm, trying to do keynote speaking, also getting ready. I've got 3 different expeditions next year. And I was just going to say, I don't know that I would recognize a Himalayan snowcock if I saw one anymore.
Or any cock at all, right?
People ask me, like, how do you do all this? How do you have time? I'm like, I don't date and I don't have kids. I don't know what to say.
Well,
And I'm tired.
I mean, look, we all choose our own paths, and
Yeah.
you'll find that cock one day.
Well,
because I know you. Because we all find the cock when it's time.
When it's time.
When it's time, when you
meant to
least
be.
expect that cock to show up.
It's not hard to find the Himalayan snowcock.
No pun intended. Boom, boom,
But
boom.
if you want the Himalayan snowcock, that's
Oh
the
my
question.
God.
I don't
I'll take a snow cock, a sun cock, any little cock,
All weathered.
an all weather cock.
Get that letter to Santa.
Santa. Well, yeah, but then that would make Santa kind of like that teacher of yours. We don't want to turn Santa into your teacher. I had a guitar teacher that had us sit on his lap so he could lay over us and teach us the chords.
That was
I
not
knew
right.
there was something wrong with him. I
That was
knew it.
not right.
No, I know it wasn't right. Any
God.
teacher that asked you to sit on her lap to show you something,
I know.
no,
Back in the day.
no. But I mean, the fact that we've all probably, I know I've been Me Too'd to death. I didn't know what Me Too movement was when Me Too was happening. They turned Me Too into something ridiculous. Oh, he touched my shoulder and I know he meant for it to be my breast. It got over the top. But there are plenty of us that have been through something, whether it was a teacher or a stranger or somebody we know that has violated us in one way or another, and we carry that with us our entire lives. We can carry it on our shoulders, or we can carry it in our heart and let it make us grow and become positive and wonderful people and be proud of ourselves. And I've watched you grow. I watched you get your real estate license in this past year, and I know that took some grit and some brains.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it really did. And I mean, we all do what we think makes our life complete. And if you're walking around going, I hate my job, I hate what I do, then change it. Because you have the power and the control to make your life what it is. Whether you've been through hell and back, whether you're poor, whether you're just broken, you can still pull yourself together and do something to make yourself feel content and live out your life in a good way. You don't have to struggle with something that you're not happy with. You can change that up.
You can change it by choosing it. And that is a big thing I say too, because any obstacles and challenges we face in our life, we have goals that we set for ourselves, but the majority of challenges we have is the dumpster fire that's been thrown in our path. Mm-hmm. That is the majority of life. And I have found that by owning that and taking responsibility for every challenge, no matter whether you chose it or not, that is how you really do choose your path to overcome it and really gain that power back. And so like when I shattered my femur and they're like, no, you're going to have a cane or wheelchair the rest of your life. I was like, nope. I own this challenge. This is my hobby now. This is what I'm dedicating to. Instead of like, why did this happen to me? And it's not fair. I was like, nope, I don't have the energy for that or the time. All energy focused on solutions.
So for people that might have a little bit of more of a challenge making themselves believe that they can have the ability to get past anything, pain or whatever, struggle, suffering, what would a piece of advice be to give somebody that, it's not about being a strong person. It's about being an eye-opened person.
Yeah. You do not have to believe in yourself when you start out.
That's good, because I'm still working on that.
The majority of the time, when there were things where, a new mountain I was going to pick or whatever it is in your life, I'm like, and anything nowadays, do you want to do this? I'm like, sure, I'll do it. And then I'm like, I have no idea if I can do that or not. But you do not have to believe in yourself. But what you do, if you have a goal or a challenge to get over, you have to commit to the choice of I'm going to do it anyway.
Okay.
Even though I may think I can't, I'm going to take one more step.
And then you'll prove to yourself that you can.
Over time, you can. And I mean, it was overused, and I used to say fake it till you make it a lot. And there's pros and cons with that. But in a way, the essence is who is the Meghan I want to be? What would she do? I'm going to do what she would do. Even though I don't believe in myself right now, but that Meghan over there
That
where I
you
want to be,
see.
she believes in herself. So what would that Meghan do? She would go ahead and do this.
Wow.
And you kind of live in that the shoes of who you want to be. And that can help get you through. And I do go through and it all starts with that gratitude and that little seed of gratitude. Because if you could just start with that and find that little ember. And I talk about how you can find that always.
Is that in the book on how you can?
Yeah.
Because really, some people are just like, I can't take it anymore. There's nothing left. But if you can find that ember, like you said, that spark of a new beginning for you.
A little something, and it starts generating that build up to lead you into the willingness to grow. And growth is the hardest part. That is the painful part. That is the vulnerability. That is why do I suck so bad at this? Or, and all of those hard things. But that choice to keep moving through it. And that's how you build your resilience. And so I go through the different steps on it. But again, the belief, that is hard and that takes time. And it is okay that you don't believe in yourself a lot of the times. Mm-hmm. But you decide with your brain, I'm going to do this anyway. And that is how you start to build that confidence.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
I'm the queen of reinvention. I've done more things.
Yeah.
And I've never thought that I was ready for any of it.
No.
But I would jump in head first. We did this podcast. We were not podcasters when we started this, but we knew
You are now.
Yeah. We not only are we are the best of our valley. Yeah. And not only that, but we've learned so much about ourselves and each other. And whether we were sure or not if we could pull this off, we didn't stumble and we didn't say, well, I'm not going to do it because what if we fail?
Exactly.
What if we failed? Who cares? We failed, we tried. But we didn't fail, and we're here at High Five doing our 12th episode of the Chatbox. And you are so inspiring. For somebody like me, I battle with that love-hate relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
So for me, when I crumble or fall, I will just be so down on myself instead of saying, where's that ember? And I'm going to make myself. But what happens, even though I do beat myself up, that's probably why I said that. What I said before is then I get mad at myself and then I have to prove to myself that I'm wrong. So it's like I fight with myself all day. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you think that you suck so bad and you can't do that. Oh yeah, I'll show you. And then I'll get up and I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then, but the difference with me and with you is that I'll do it and I'll be like, yeah, see, I could do it. And then I just go back to my everyday fighting with myself thing. You hold on to your pride and your accomplishments and achievements and you move forward that way. And that is huge. To not do the roller coaster.
But it also is, it doesn't come easy because I also catch myself, but I'm just really fast at catching myself during that practice where, yes, it is. Like, I'll tell you, it is so hard when I've got like a siren call of like, people like, well, have you climbed K2? And I'm like, no, I haven't climbed it yet. Damn it.
Oh, you're a horrible human.
I know, but then I'm like, then I have to have a reality check with myself too. And you have to be able to revisit because it is like the next and the best. But what you do, it is a form of motivation.
Yeah.
And if it's not hurting you emotionally, like, I mean, there are times I'm tough on myself with things, but I think we all have to kind of find out what helps motivate us. But if you want to find a different way, a more loving way to motivate yourself, yeah, absolutely. You can work on doing that.
So what would you say to somebody who is stuck? Anybody who's either watching or sitting here that feels like they want to get motivated for this next phase, but they feel stuck.
I have an amazing chapter in my book called Make a Move.
I like
because it is that being stuck and frozen is something we all experience.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that I've been able to do that I realize is, and I get paralysis on certain things, and it is generally still around things involving my dyslexia
Okay.
or whatever. But make a move. And I've got a friend, George, who I talk about in this book, and we were climbing Carson's Pyramid. And there's way less people have summited that than Everest. It's so hard to get to. It took us 5 years to finally get to the place to climb it. We were
Where
chased
is
by
it?
like rebels. It was insane.
What?
So
Wait,
it's
where
like,
is it?
Papua New Guinea. So it's just above, it's part of Indonesia, but just above Australia.
I've been there a couple times.
I know. So
No,
it
just
was
kidding.
crazy. And
Wow.
we were the rocks are extremely jagged. There are rope lines, and we had to get to this point where it's like a chasm that falls down. There's a middle rock coming up that you literally have to rappel down this thing with a tiny foot, leap over, and then leap to the other side.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm roped. If I fall, I will be caught, but I will get shredded on these rocks, and it will be. And I'm just like, well, what the F? And this was like a year ago, October. I'm like, God damn it. And then my brain, I'm like, okay, we could, but what if I do this and I don't know, but I fall? And then my buddy George is on the other side. He's like, make a move, Megan. Nobody's gonna do it for you. He just yelled one more time, make a move. And I was like, snap. And I just went boom, boom. And I did it. And I was like,
no fear at that moment?
I just made a choice.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going one way or the other. I'm doing this.
Wow.
I wasn't gonna turn back.
Holy
It taken
moly.
me 5 years to get to that place. And I was like, no, go. And I just engage. And because I've had enough practice of doing this, and learning to engage. But so I dedicated a chapter to that. And I really talk about how you can get paralysis when things are overwhelming. I don't have enough information. And it really just talks about you've got to just start making moves. And look, we make decisions based on data points as it comes in. And when you don't have enough data points, make a smaller move until you have the next round of points. But just sitting still for a lot of cases is not helping you. And when you nudge something, then it gives you more data points.
Right.
But you have to be willing to like, okay, well, the direction I move, it may be wrong. I'll just take my steps back, but at least I'll know. And so it's getting comfortable. And I'll now, every day, when something I'm like, well, I can't decide if and I shout at myself, I'm like, make a move, Megan. So I'm like, okay, I'll make a move.
I'm going to use that. I think that's our slogan for the year.
Make
a move.
Yeah.
I think that is brilliant. And the fact that he prompted you, but then you were like, really, make a move. Let's do it. I can't
I'm like,
stand
that
here
is
all day.
life, my friend. I
So
know.
I do have a question about climbing because I'm, like I said, I'll climb into my car and I'll climb into my bed.
Perfect. Sounds good.
And I'm climbing back out, and that's about it. However, whenever I see mountain climbers, how do they get those? So you're hooked onto something.
Yeah, generally there's
But what are you hooked on? I don't understand how, okay, you're hooked onto something, and then if you start falling to your death and you stop because what are you stuck to? How do they get those rings into the rock?
Yeah, so for rock and for ice, for different things, yes, definitely there's screws that you learn how to put those in properly. And
So you do that
sometimes
before you do the.
Well,
wait, you can't.
No,
you got to get up there.
For a guided climb like Everest, they have the team. A team will go in the very beginning of the season, and they will eventually work their way up and lay the lines for that year.
Wow.
All the way to the top.
Now that's got to be the most dangerous part.
Oh, they're amazing. I mean, it's amazing. The Sherpa, the Nepalese, they are
I've heard a lot about that.
phenomenal
Yeah.
athletes and the best at what they do.
And they wear giant clothes.
Well, I mean, we all have like we wear
have
like
to.
a down suit. And that
Right.
kind of
It's
thing.
crazy.
Yeah, but so they usually do. But then when you're, so many people here in the valley in Colorado, I mean, it's going out and, when you're going up and ice climbing or rock climbing with your friends or whatever, and you hopefully have learned and taken courses or whatever it is. But yeah, you generally lay your own
So there
lines.
is somebody a golden child that starts the whole thing. Kind of like when you want to go on a snowshoe, somebody's going to have to cut the trail. I mean, there's
generally.
always somebody that's got to do the start of it. And so, I mean, I remember my husband and I went to snowshoe. He goes, I'm going to have to cut the trail. I'm like, what does that mean? Well, somebody's going to get us through this.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like obviously less dangerous. But so you have somebody that is a brave, athletic soul that goes up there and starts you guys all off and gets you all sturdy.
Well, and that's why you generally align with a logistics company. And there's several, like climbing the 7 summits is one that I'm really aligned with and done most of my climbs with. There's, RMI out of the West, there's Mountain Professional. So there's all these climbing companies that, they provide the logistics. So all the climbs that I've done, it was not solo. It was, I had a logistics company providing the routes and everything like that.
And tell me how old you were when you did your very first climb.
I was 12 when I did my first 14er with my dad.
Okay, I was
going to
say a 14er to her must be like, I can snort a 14er.
No, but now that's like how I train every weekend in the summer.
Oh, really?
But my first of the 7 summits was when I was 29, and it was with my dad.
Oh, that must be special.
So the most special one to me is Kilimanjaro because it was with my father.
That's
and
big.
He passed away 3 years after that.
Oh.
And so it was, but he's with me
on
every climb.
You know he's proud of you.
But they're like, what is your favorite one? I'm like, Kilimanjaro because it was my dad.
Oh.
So
that's just beautiful.
Yes.
And the highest point you've ever climbed?
Everest.
Oh, it is Everest.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, look, I look out the window. I'm like, that's high.
Everest is the highest peak.
It is
in the world.
Wow.
Yes.
I feel dumb a little bit that I didn't know that, but whatever.
No, it's fine because actually, it's so funny because when you're in whatever we all do, we know, but you
could be an
forget that
expert at
people
certain
don't.
things, and then it doesn't mean that everybody else knows about it. You know,
exactly.
like she'll start talking about real estate. I'm like, huh?
That guy, what?
Percentage what?
Yeah.
Commission what? So you know what I mean? So like we all have our expertise in things.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes the world go round. We all have different things to offer to people. But those of us who feel stuck or stranded or wounded or not able to get ourselves up and do something, here's living proof right here that you can do anything no matter what takes you down. It's how you get right back up.
Yeah.
Make a move.
Make a move.
I
Come
love
on, people.
that.
Make a move. Even if it's a little one. You just make it. See what
Baby
happens.
steps even so. I
Yeah.
mean, just to like I struggle with depression a lot. It's not situational depression. I have had it since I was little, so I know when it's coming on and I know what to do and stuff like that. But there are certain times where I'm like, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to be around anybody. And then, but I haven't said make a move, but I have forced myself into doing something, even though I felt as blue and as hardcore as I could. I would force myself to get up and do it. And guess what? I was so happy I did. And it breaks a little bit of those chemicals that are causing you to be depressed. When you do something that you feel proud about at the end, you almost forget you were depressed.
Yeah.
But then there's seasonal things that people get depressed about, and then there's lifelong things. But there's always a way out. There's always a way to climb your way out. But there is, and you just have to have enough faith in yourself to just take that tiny little baby step. Even if it's just if you find yourself laying in bed for days because you're sad.
Yeah.
Get up and walk around the block. That's big enough. That's Kilimanjaro for you.
Shower.
Shower's
That's
big
a big
because
I mean, believe me, I've been like
no, when I'm depressed, I feel like I don't even want to get in the shower. You know, there's times where but self-care snaps you out of it.
Yeah.
If you shave your legs every day, you're loving yourself, whether you know it or not. If you put lotion on your face, that's a sign of self-love, whether you know it or not. It's all these little things we do for ourselves that we are taking care of ourselves, whether we believe in ourselves or not.
reach out to a friend.
Big time.
Sometimes too.
Yeah.
I mean, we all get embarrassed but reach out to your support group when you can't find that ember. And I talk about this too. Like I have a lot of energy. Another reason I can do all this stuff, and I'm just if I sit still, I'm a little weirded out. But I also understand that I'm able to give sparks to other people.
Oh,
And like
nice.
it's one of those things like, and it's an ebb and flow. And so the times that you're feeling good, help others out. Help them with find their little spark.
And not only does that help them, it helps you too.
Oh, absolutely.
Just by giving back at this chat box with Jen and I feel like we both healed each other's souls. You know, and the people and bringing people on like you, even just really you've taught me a lot about self affirmation today.
Yeah.
always battle with myself of can I do this? Should I do this? And I am one of those people that will jump right in, but not climbing anything, but like with whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's a self of accomplishment when you've done it. And even if it takes a while to get good at it, so what? You're stepping above and outside of your comfort zone a little bit to take care of you. And if we take care of ourselves, then we can do wonders for others.
Absolutely.
And you should
Absolutely.
you should love that. And that can be your spark next time you're feeling down is like, one thing I love about myself? I will jump into something. I will do it. Whether I think I can do it or not. And that's your little spark.
That's actually very smart because I don't think like that at all.
I know. Yeah. But that's an amazing skill. And a lot of people, like, they have that self-doubt and it absolutely paralyzes them.
Yeah.
But the fact that you'll still, and that's what I'm talking about, you may not believe in yourself, but you're jumping in anyway. That is very good.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Jen, what do you have to ask about the book before we close? We've actually been going for an hour.
Oh my God.
I know. So about this book, do you have any questions that you would like to ask and anything else?
What was the hardest part, like hardest chapter for you to write?
Good question.
Oh, that is a good question. One, probably talking about my dad's death. Because, and let me that, and then probably the last chapter, because it was important to me to try to bring it full circle. Because again, it's very hard for me to get my thoughts into writing. And so, believe me, this entire book, I self-doubted the entire freaking book. But I worked through it. But yeah, that was all, I think that was probably the hardest part, to make sure that I'm capturing things correctly. But I will tell you a little secret about this book. I do not talk about any relationship in this book. Because I wanted, and believe me, I've had a lot. But this book is about me
Your
and my
personal
battle
journey,
with me.
not anybody else.
And in a way, like I think especially with women, people try to give their accomplishments away. That guy broke your heart, so that's why you did. No. They don't get credit for that.
I love what you're saying.
Gosh.
I
I'm
wanted
so
this.
guilty of
You're
this.
taking that home with you.
All those guys out there, you're safe. I didn't talk about you. But book number two is going to be...
You're going down, boys.
It's going to be Grit, Living Your Worth. And I will go into, because everyone that we date, or every relationship, girlfriends or family or romantic, it is a reflection of how we feel about ourselves at that time. And that will be dealt with in how the courage to actually not just know your worth, but live your worth will be the second book.
I can't wait for number 2 already.
Yeah, I know. That might be a little more difficult for you because you're going into more emotional stuff too.
But I have my friend Nancy, my editor, to help me write it.
Can I borrow Nancy when you're done so I can start mine?
Actually, you really can. She's phenomenal.
I'm so excited. Well, listen, you guys, we have been here for an hour with one of the most beautiful people inside and out. Look at your beautiful face. We love you, Megan. And
you guys.
Jen and I are so proud that we brought you on for especially a holiday edition of the Chatbox, because it gives us all hope. It gives us light. It gives us love for ourselves. This book is called Choose to Rise, written by Meghan S. Buchanan. And I love what they wrote. You're a neurodivergent aerospace engineer, adventure athlete, and keynote speaker. Yeah, I do radio. But my point is that radio was something for me that I wanted to do more than anything in this world. And I jumped into it. And 25 years later, I still do it. So my point is that anything you set your mind to, whether somebody's trying to hold you back, I've had co-hosts that tried to get me, all this stuff. There's a lot of people that will get in your way. A lot of people that will challenge you or try and tell you you're not good enough. So you don't have to be the one that tells you you're not good enough. Somebody else will try, but just remember, you're amazing. You are one of a kind. You are golden. You can overcome anything, like Megan here. And Jen has overcome so much, and I'm still overcoming a lot of stuff. But what I'm saying is that nothing should ever stop us for any reason whatsoever. And I pray you guys all get this book on Amazon January
20th.
20th.
Yes.
It hits the store or well, the online store.
The online store, yes.
GGrit. I like saying
No,
GGrit.
grit. And that's it. You always can choose to rise. Always.
Always choose to rise
choice.
and make it
a
happen.
move.
Make a move.
Make a move, people.
Make a move and get yourselves choose to rise.
Happy holidays. Merry Festivus.
Best
all the
yes.
things.
Yay! All right, let's do a Christmas dance for everybody.
Oh, are we doing Christmas?
Standing. A standing
Here, let's
dance.
say. We'll do a song. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you why am I singing? I can't sing. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Take care of yourselves.
Maybe we'll get some snow.
Oh, I heard it's going to snow on
that was a
Christmas
snow
Day.
dance.
I did. I heard it from the grapevine. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for being here. We are the Chatbox, the only mental health podcast here in Eagle County to help you rise up, make a move, take care of yourself, and know that life is never going to be a lonely one because everybody here is together and we all take care of each other. From Jen Saito, myself, Liz Farron, and our wonderful, amazing guest, Meghan Buchanan.
Thank you guys for having me. This has been fantastic.
Choose to rise. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. We love you all. Yay!
Yay.